The architect speaks on Noah's flood. Water always wins. The architect's voice was devoid of sympathy. His gaze fixed on the gray horizon where sky and sea dissolved into one. Men like to think they can tame it, build their dams, raise their walls, but water is patient. It waits. He stood at the edge of memory, the image of an ancient world flickering across his mind, eyes stretching from horizon to horizon, glaciers grinding mountains into dust, and then the thaw, slow at first, then sudden. It was not a punishment, he said. It was inevitability. The great Laurentide and Fennoscandian ice sheets melted, trillions of tons of ice collapsing into rivers and seas, the Black Sea bursting through its barriers, salt water swallowing the lowlands, where men once farmed and built their first fragile cities, the Persian Gulf flooding, the Doggerland slipping beneath the waves. His voice was clinical, dispassionate. It was not a single storm, but many. Centuries of rising water, inch by inch, swallowing land and memory alike. The architect's eyes darkened. But men cannot accept chaos. They need order, reason. If their homes are swallowed by the sea, there must be a reason, a sin, a judgment. They need to believe that the gods are angry, not that the earth is simply indifferent. And so they told a story. His voice sharpened. Noah, Utnapishtim, Deucalion, the hero who saves his family. The righteous spared, while the wicked are drowned. A boat upon the water, carrying life through the storm. He smiled faintly. How convenient, how clean. The truth is less elegant. His gaze drifted to the imagined horizon, the sound of ancient tides still echoing in his mind. Entire cultures drowned beneath those waters. Fishermen and farmers watched their homes vanish beneath the tide. It wasn't sin, it was bad luck. They built too close to the shore. They didn't understand the sea was rising beneath their feet. And so the survivors told their children it was a punishment, that the gods had grown angry with their corruption, their pride. It's easier to bear loss when you believe it was deserved. The architect's expression hardened. But the sea does not punish. The sea does not forgive. It does not care. There was no ark, no chosen survivor. There were men scrambling for higher ground, clutching their children, watching their livestock drown. Some made it, most did not. The waters swallowed them without malice, without intent. But men do not worship the indifferent. His mouth curled into a humorless smile. So they shaped the chaos into a story, a moral, a lesson. Noah, floating above the floodwaters, his family saved by virtue alone. He shook his head. It was not virtue. It was luck. Civilizations are fragile things. A shift in the climate, a storm too long, a drought too long, and they fall. Flood myths are not stories of sin and salvation. They are the echoes of collective trauma. The memory of how easily the earth reclaims what men build. And yet, his gaze sharpened. They keep building on the shore. He turned, the distant sound of waves crashing beneath his footsteps. Water always wins.